Hi, this is Bruce Buffer, your voice of the Octagon, and you're listening to MMA Mental.
This post-fight interview is brought to you by MMA Mental, MMA Worldwide, and YourMMA.tv. It is sponsored by Almighty Fightwear. For more post-fight interviews from the biggest promotions, please subscribe to the MMA Mental YouTube channel. Also, like MMAmental.com, MMA Worldwide, Your MMA, and Almighty Fightwear on Facebook. And on Twitter, please follow at MMA Mental, at Your MMA, and at Almighty MMA. I'm now joined by UFC welterweight Kenny Robertson. Kenny is coming off a huge win at UFC Fight Night 38 over Thiago Pepetua. He actually went out to Brazil, fought a Brazilian in Brazil, and got a very dominating submission victory. Kenny, thank you very much for joining me.
No problem.
Congratulations as well. I think it was one of your best UFC performances to date.
What's that?
I think it was possibly your best UFC performance to date.
Oh, I think so too.
Let's talk a little bit about the build. And this was your first time fighting in Brazil. What were your thoughts on going out and fighting in Brazil?
Well, the biggest thing was to be mentally prepared. You know, I knew they'd boo me and everything, I just was really focused on this whole training camp being more relaxed and just having more fun with fighting and just training and everything. So I had a lot of fun, so that kind of helped me be more relaxed.
With you fighting a Brazilian in Brazil, did you feel more pressure to get the fight finished as you didn't want to go to the judges' scorecard with him having the home advantage?
I think I felt that after fighting Sean. So I don't exactly like decisions because I've been on the short end a couple times, you know. So I like to finish fights just because, human error is an issue, you know. So I like to finish them so I don't let the judges screw me, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you were facing Thiago Pepetua. He made his name on one of the seasons of Tough Brazil. What did you know about him going into the fight?
Well, I knew that, you know, he hit hard and he liked to throw a big right hand and everything. I watched the film on him and everything, and I knew that, you know, I could head kick him on either side if I wanted to, so that was kind of a thought that I'd throw one in the first round or first, 2.5 minutes. Then the other thought that I had going into it was I was going to take him down within the first 2.5 minutes of the first fight. Well, I threw the head kick, and then it was all balanced. He actually took me down, but it worked out anyways.
Normally the majority of the Brazilian fighters are known for, their JiuJitsu, if you like. How did it feel on the ground? Because it was a pretty much a one-sided fight, obviously in your favour.
Yeah, I fought Brazilian black belts before, and I've always done well. I think, a strong wrestler that's aware of different submissions and, aware of jiu-jitsu, kind of nullifies a lot of their moves because we're always moving, we're always position, grind, transition, and, I'm always thinking position first and then submission, and then position, the punch, elbow, position. I don't like to lose position, I like to improve constantly.
Now, you were saying there about some of the things you were looking to do early on in the round. You said about the head kick, you said about the takedown. Were you surprised to get the finish so quickly, so early on in the fight?
I wasn't sure how tight. I went for the rear naked, and I was going to go for my little knee bar that I do, but it was so slimy that I didn't want to fall off early in the fight. So I just signed him out and found him a little bit, and then he rolled over, and I went for the rear naked. And, I just couldn't quite get it with the rear naked, so I kind of slid it over to a short choke, and that's actually what I finished him with. And when I was choking, I really didn't know if I was going to get it, and then he tapped, and I really didn't think he was going to tap from it.
It's funny you should mention the knee bar there, because I think you referred to the knee bar that you caught Brock Jardine with. Now, that was the first time we actually saw that in the UFC. What was it like being the first to use it?
You're breaking up there.
Sorry. I was just... You mentioned there about... Can you hear me?
That's all right.
You mentioned there about the Kneebar, and of course you referred to the Kneebar that you used over Brock Jardine. Now that was the first time we'd seen that submission hold used in the UFC, that particular type of Kneebar. What was it like being the first?
That was kind of neat, and I think it was funny to me that, I said that's something I'd come up with in college, which, I had. And then everyone's like, oh, you didn't invent it. And I'm like, I didn't say I invented it. It's something I came up with, independently. I've never seen anybody else do it. But it was kind of neat, I got nominated for submission of the year and stuff like that, so that was cool.
Now, you were talking there about the Kneebar, and like I said, it was the first time I'd seen it used in the UFC. Had it been used in MMA before, or did it have a name?
The variation of it had been done before. It's like the Savolican stretch or something. I never thought of it as naming it or anything like that, and I just, it's something I do. I do a couple of different goofy things that work for submissions that aren't really names. You just kind of modified this and that, so it's just a move that works. And I remember a couple of people told me that won't work, but when you're in that position, it's going to work.
To be fair, it looked really, really painful. I mean, in the past, we've seen moves been done for the first time, and then because they've not been done before, they've been named after that fighter. An example of that we had recently was somebody's the Von Flue choke, and of course that was named after fighter Jason Von Flue. So I just wondered if this hold was going to be named after you, or it's already been named. Do you think?
It's already been named. I think when he did it, he was actually on his back, and he actually had to pull more. When you hit them flat pretty much going towards their belly, then it's much more efficient. So it's pretty much just a variation of that one.
Okay, well, going back to the fight that we've just had then, one of the advantages of having such a quick fight, of course, is hopefully you've come out with no injuries. How did you feel after the fight?
Oh, great. I felt like I needed to go work out or something because, you get that adrenaline rush and everything, and it just was strange to have that much energy after a fight.
And so, ideally, then, when would you like to get back in and compete again? Because I don't imagine you want a layoff then if you're feeling quite fresh after that fight.
I am feeling fresh, but I'm a full-time teacher, so I just took off 4 days there and everything. And we're getting to the end of the school year, so it'll probably be about mid-June before I fight again. Not to say that if something came up or somebody got injured or something that I wouldn't, hop in if everything worked out.
Okay. Have you got your eye on anybody you'd like to face, or you just want to see what's on offer?
Just whatever they offer. I don't never really care who they offer. I just kind of say yes most of the time. So my manager, looks after me and everything like that. But if they really want me to fight somebody, I'll fight them.
Well, congratulations on a very impressive win, and thank you very much for giving me your time today.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
And before we let you go, I just want to give you a chance to do some shout-outs. If you'd like to let the listeners know about your Facebook and your Twitter, and then shout out any friends, family, sponsors that you'd like to shout out as well.
Just Kenny Robertson on Facebook. My Twitter is 170 Kenny, and then I think my wife first. She's the boss. She makes sure that I eat healthy and wake up early and go running and stuff. My striking coach, Brian Blackerby, Joe Terry with the Human Performance Lab, the PR Athletic Club for letting me come and work out with them. My main wrestling/workout partner, Jimmy Kim, he's always there to help out. My family and friends and everything.
Well, I can't wait to see you step back into the cage again, and thanks again for your time today.